They called the blind street singer a curse until her song predicted the stock crash that wiped out 3 billionaires at 6 in the morning. The sky over Lagos was just turning slate blue, but the Ikeja market already boiled like a pot of pepper soup. Okada motorcycles weaved through the crowd, vendors shouted over each other, and under plastic canopies, piles of colorful fabrics, yams, and second-hand clothes from Europe fought for space. The air smelled of petrol, sweat, fried akara, and underneath it all, the faint rot of drainage ditches baking in the heat. At the market's entrance, a small figure sat on a wooden crate. She wore a faded blue cotton dress, her head wrapped tightly, revealing only a thin face and milky white eyes clouded like frosted glass. In her arms, an old Get AR, its body cracked and taped together. This was Amina Dagbo. No one knew her real age, some said EARLY 20s, others swore she was pushing 40. In Lagos. A blind singer surviving this long was a miracle in itself. Her fingers plucked the strings, and a voice like rough silk cut through the noise. Red bird flies past the stock exchange. Golden wings snap in the wind. 3 mountains of gold crumble by dawn. Laughter turns to wailing again. The song wasn't loud, but it pierced out. A few women haggling over peppers paused, frowning. Her again. A mango seller spat. That mad woman's back. Bad luck cha rm. A phone case vendor sneered. Yesterday she sang the market would crash, and what nothing. A crowd gathered, not to listen, but to watch. In Lagos, mocking a blind woman was better entertainment than cockfighting. Hey! Amina! A man in a floral shirt shoved 4-way RD, phone raised. Sing us, the 3 giants will fall. I'll post it, you'll go viral. Laughter erupted. Sing. Sing. Maybe Dangote himself will pay you. Amina didn't stop. Her fingers kept moving, as if the jeers were just dust in the wind. Her blind eyes sta read into nothing. Laugh, she said suddenly, voice calm. The louder you laugh, the closer the wailing comes. Ha! Floral shirt grinned. That a curse. Ca riffled, police don't like witch talk these days. Right on cue, 2 police bikes ROA read up. Officer Olu, a familiar face, strode over, scowling. Amina. How many times no blocking the market? No singing prophecies, public disturbance. He yanked her Get AR, almost smashing it. Amina's hand shot out, fast for a blind woman, cradling the instrument. This is my Get AR, she said softly. Get AR, this is evidence. Olu ba head. Last time you sang about a sinking ship, and what? A smuggler's boat went down. Coincidence? I say you're working with pirates. Murmurs spread. She did predict that. No wonder she's always NEAR the docks. Amina lifted her face, those sightless eyes somehow locking onto Olu. Officer, the wind told me a ship would sink. I only sang what the wind said. Bullshit. Olu shoved her off the crate. Scram. Next time, it's jail. Amina stumbled but didn't fall. She picked up her crate, hugged her Get AR, and shuffled toward the market's edge, stepped steady, as if she'd memorized every crack in the pavement. What she didn't know, at that exact moment, on the Nigerian stock exchange's giant screens, the 3 giants, Dangote Oil, Balogun Telecom, Ogundype Realty, were tipping from green to red. A thin line, sliding toward ruin. Under the bridge Amina settled in the shadows of an abandoned overpass, far from the noise. Here, only the distant highway ROA read, like an endless tide. She traced the cracks in her Get AR. An old griot, a West African storyteller, had given it to her 3 years ago, dying words rasping, child, your eyes don't see, but your EARS are the EARTH's pulse. This Get AR makes the wind's voice louder. She hadn't understood until her first true song. Born in a Delta fishing village, Amina lost her sight at 5 to a fever no medicine could break. The village elders called her cursed, blamed her for droughts, and at 7, sent her away to Lagos. Her aunt in Makoko slum took her in, not out of love, but for profit. You're blind, perfect for begging. Bring 500 naira daily, or no food. At first, she just sat, hand outstretched. But when coins dropped, whispers came too. Pray my son passes his exams. Bless my wife's surgery. Their desperation stabbed. Then she remembered her father's fishing songs and began to sing, not prayers, but what she heard market chaos, footsteps, phone sobs, even the beep beep off stock tickers. She sang, fish flee to deep water, nets will come up empty next day, catches plummeted. She sang, rain will drown the east, west stays parched that night, east Lagos flooded. West stayed dry. Slowly, crowds gathered. Some paid, not for charity, but for songs. Sing the good business. She refused. I sing the wind's truth, not your wishes. Her name spread. Prophetosum madwomanto most. Police called her superstitious, businessmen bad for tourism. Until the port. For 3 days, she sang, Iron Bird will sink, ghost hands pulling from below. No one listened until a smuggler's ship vanished in fog, crew and all. Media called it coincidence. But the black MA or ket traders. They avoided her after that. The visitor night fell. Under the bridge, Amina strummed a wordless tune, her only proof she was still alive, sound. Then footsteps. Shoes crisp on concrete, too clean for this place. Amina, a young man's voice. She stopped playing. Who's there? Chidi Okafo. I work at the stock exchange. A pause. I heard your song today about 3 golden mountains. Silence. This afternoon, Chidi said, voice tight, the central bank announced an audit of the 3 giants. How? How? Did you know? Amina tilted her face up, those blind eyes seeing him anyway. I don't see, she whispered. But I hear. Hear what? Greed. Her fingers brushed the strings. When money's weight cracks the EARTH shakes, and I'm just a leaf, trembling when it falls. Chidi froze. He'd come to mock her, a blind girl predicting market crashes, but now, he couldn't leave. Beyond the bridge, Lagos neon lights flickered on, a false constellation. And in the DRK where their glow didn't reach, the wind slipped through Makoko's shanties, CA rhying the next story's whisper. Amina plucked the strings again, singing, when lies build towers truth is the only lightning. Chidi stood outside the bridge's shadow, polished shoes sinking into damp concrete, palms sweating. He shouldn't be here. A financial analyst from the Nigerian stock exchange, lurking in Makoko's slums at night, talking to a blind singer the whole city mocked. If his colleagues saw this, tomorrow's office gossip would be, Okafo's lost it, listening to that cursed woman. But he couldn't leave. Amina's words, I hear greed's voice, had hooked into him like a fishbone in the throat. He read his throat, forcing calm. Ms. Amina, may I sit? Your shoes are black, she said softly. Left foot drags slightly, like you've stood too long. Sit. The bridge doesn't judge. Chidi froze, glancing down. New black shoes, left foot aching from 3 hours of meetings. He lowered himself onto the concrete, keeping distance. You really he writings? He asked. Not guessing. Not luck. Amina plucked a single guitar string, a low, mournful note, like wind through dry grass. I came to Lagos at 7, she began. My aunt made me beg. I sat on streets, listening. Rich men walk fast, heels click like drums. Poor men shuffle, flip-flops slap like rain. Children laugh bright. Old men cough like broken accordions. All these sound stories. Chidi listened, expecting tales of spirits or visions. Instead, just a blind girl noticing. Then I sang, she continued. Not for money. To release, like a hiccup you can't hold. But your songs come true of the ship at the port. I didn't sink it, Amina cut in. I heard its cracks. The hull splitting. The captain lying on the phone sounds others miss, I catch. Chidi exhaled. 3 RS analyzing stock cha RTS, and he'd never listen like this. Today you sang 3 golden mountains will crumble. He leaned closer. Dangote Balagan Ogundipe. I don't know names, Amina said. Just 3 men, heavy as mountains, pressing on many. Their laughter drowns out weeping. Their money sandcastles. Wind comes, poof. Chidi's pulse spiked. He knew these mountains too well. Aliyu Dangote Oil Tiwasian, empire built on spills and bribes. Aisha Balagan, telecom queen, her 5G towers held up by lies. Emeka. Obendyke real estate mogul, his luxury condos half-built tombs. They own newspapers. Bought politicians. Even the president owed them favors. But Chitty had seen the rot inside. Last month, a leaked risk report, Dangote's shell companies laundering cash. Balogun's towers missing safety checks. Obendyke's buyers protesting unfinished homes. The central bank's sudden audit. His doing, he'd filed the warning. How did you know about the audit? He whispered. Amina smiled, a strange, knowing twist of lips. Yesterday, 3:17 p.m. 3 men are reviewing in a CAR. One said, Okafo's report went up, we're finished. Another, silence him. Third, wait it out. Chitty's blood turned to ice. That was exactly when his boss had pulled him into a Mercedes, threatening, Chitty, don't throw your CA rear away for a report. But the windows were up, how could she? You couldn't have ERD that, he choked. I did, Amina said simply. Leah RS voices changed. Here beats. Speed. Air vents. CARRY sounds even through glass. Chitty couldn't speak. This woman, mocked as a mad prophet, might understand Lagos' real economy better than his entire office. The safe house. Days later, Chitty did something insane. He rented a 10 SQA meter room behind the Marquette BA walls, one window. Bought a new Get AR. A used recorder. Here. He pressed the keys and Get AR into Amina's hands. No more bridge sleeping. Amina ran fingers over the Get AR's smooth neck. This is expensive. Cheaper than a business lunch, Chitty said. She accepted without thanks. Respect, not charity. From then on, Chitty recorded her songs. Transcribed lyrics, noting dates, locations, her inspiration. He RD3 suits arguing about debt, woman crying on phone about stocks. He realized, Amina's prophecies weren't magic. She sang telecom tower will fall. 3 days later, a Balogun cell tower collapsed, shoddy materials. She sang. Oil pipes will burn. Next morning, a Dangote pipeline leaked, rust. She sang children in towers go hungry. Obendyke's luxury condo cleaners protested unpaid wages. Not miracles. Just a blind woman listening where others were deaf. You're not a prophet, Chitty wrote in his journal. You're this city's EARS. Backlash. Lagos doesn't welcome truthtellers. News of Amina's new home spread. The Marquette erupted. She's cursing us. Yam sellers wailed. My scale broke, her fault. Who paid for her room? Phone case vendors filmed her door. Plotting against us. Officer Olu came knocking, Amina. Who approved this? Show me your lease. Chitty intervened, waving documents. Olu sneered, fine. Legal. But one weird song, you're out. Worse, Amina's clips went viral. TikTok edits mocked her, blind which predicts Marquette crash. LOL. Comments piled on, Africa needs science, not juju. Keep your curses out of finance. Amina didn't see a re. She sang daily, songs not of doom, but stories. Men in suits count cash while rain drips on hungry children's heads. Her phone costs $30K. Her mom digs through trash for dinner. Each lyric a scalpel, slicing Lagos' glittering skin to show the festering beneath. They offer one stormy midnight, Chitty left work late. Rain poured as a black Mercedes glided up. Window down. Aisha Balogun herself peered out. Chitty Okafo get in. Chitty hesitated. Nigeria's richest woman knew his name. Your report impressed me, Aisha said, AC blasting. But truth can be Shah RP, cut the wrong way. Leather seats smelled of money. Chitty dripped on them, shivering. That blind singer, Aisha mused. Dangerous. Her song spread fear. You know what fear does to markets? Reveals they're built on air. Aisha laughed. Markets need air, Chitty. Confidence is oxygen. No bubbles, no growth. She offered a CARD, risk control director. 5 times your salary. Chitty didn't take it. Thanks, he said, stepping back into the rain. But I'd rather hear a blind woman sing. Aisha's voice chased him, some people ain't worth drowning for, Chitty. The storm hits next dawn, Chitty approached Amina's room. A new song floated out deeper, Stranger 3 stars fall west money rivers reverse to see who laughs who weeps who counts ashes on their knees. Chitty's phone buzzed violently. Stock exchange alert, central bank raids big 3 offices. RKET crash imminent. He looked up. Amina sat in her doorway, blind eyes turned skyward, fingers brushing guitar strings like she was touching the coming storm. The wind had arrived. The taillights of Aisha Balagan's Mercedes vanished into the rainy night, but her threat clung to Chitty like poison. He stood outside Amina's shack, soaked, clutching her gilded business card, it burned his palm like a hot coal. Amina's voice drifted. Through the door, eerie and cold, 3 stars fall west, Chitty pushed inside. That song, 3 stars, you mean the big 3? Amina paused, tilting her head as if seeing him. The wind says 3 men shine like stars, but their light is borrowed, when debts come due, stars fall. Chitty's breath hitched. 10 minutes ago, Nigeria's central bank had announced an emergency audit of Dangote Oil, Balagan Telecom, and Ogundike Realty. Stocks plummeted. News outlets scrambled for explanations. None mentioned Amina. Only Chitty knew he did again. You're in danger, he warned Ed. Aisha Balagan came to silence him. They won't stop at threats. Amina plucked a Yoruba melody, a griot's warning before storms. Shifia RS voices. They all do, Chitty said. You've shaken their golden towers. Lions don't surrender prey. The backlash by dawn, Lagos buzzed a big 3 under probe. MA or cat crashes. WhatsApp groups exploded, that blind woman predicted this. But louder voices drowned them out, coincidence. Oil prices dropped globally. She's a fraud, arrest her. A Rational Lagos Alliance post went viral, we can't let witch songs replace economics. This hysteria insults science and Nigeria. The market turned uglier. A yam seller burned Amina's old crate, burned the curse. Phone case boy led protests, facts over juju. Then Officer Olaway arrived with backup. Amina Dagbo. He kicked her door. Public disturbance. Cha RG, stop singing laser face jail. He slammed her guitar to the ground. Wood splintered. Strings snapped. Amina dropped to her knees, fingers tracing the wreckage like a corpse. You broke the wind's voice. Rain soaked her head. SKRF, TRS or storm. No one could tell. The gift 3 days later, an old woman ape red. Wrapped in Kent cloth, she ca right as ca ved guitar, its body itched with bella symbols, spirals, eyes, wind. I am Adwo Akanate. She said. From Accra. This is the Windseer's guitar. It answers only pure HRTS. Amina touched the ca arvings and gasped. I hear a whole song. Chitty studied the symbols. Ancient prophecy script. But why give it to her? Adwoa's eyes keened. The big 3 are just symptoms, the rot runs deeper. Amina must sing the truth even if it kills her. That night, Amina played. The sound shook Chitty. Not music, a storm, notes rumbled like ye earthquakes, ca rying whispers of crowds, crashing waves, market chaos. Her new song cut like a machete, when lies build towers. Truth is the lightning. Not in clouds or books, but in blind hands listening. Chitty gripped her wrist. They'll murder you for this. Amina's milky eyes held him. I died at 7, on that bus when mama let go. Now I live to sing. The siege retaliation came fast. Chitty was suspended from work. Take a vacation, his boss smirked. Oh, and your blind friend's shack. Condemned. Then, torchlight. A mob surrounded the shack. Phone case boy led the cha RG, burn the witch. Amina sat calmly, strumming the Windseer. As stone smashed windows, she sang an elegy. The rocks you throw re your father's bones. The torches you raise burn your children's tomorrows. The mob froze. Phone case boy's torch trembled. He remembered, his own father, a crippled Ogundike construction worker. His brother's school fees paid by hawking cases. Torches dropped. The crowd dispersed, leaving only moonlight. Chitty sagged against the wall. How Amina touched his cheek. The wind never stops singing. And truth stays blind, but never silent. Outside, the clouds parut. A full moon bathed Lagos in silver, lighting the path ahead. Amina's shack was eerily quiet after the mob retreated. A RP flapped over the shattered window, letting in damp air and the scent of wet earth. Chitty crouched, picking up Shah RDS. Of a clay bowl, the last relic from Amina's village, now broken. Leave it, Amina murmured, fingers tracing the windseers. Get AR. A cracked bowl won't hold water. Like lies, some breaks can't be fixed. Moonlight streaked her face through the RP, her blind eyes reflecting stars. Chitty realized then, her calm wasn't numbness. It was something deeper than rage. They won't stop, he said. Tonight was just the start. To the big three, we're thorns now. Amina plucked a low, throbbing melody like an underground river. Listen, she whispered. At first, Chitty heard nothing but dogs. Ba king, vendors packing up. Then, a pattern emerged, a man in a phone booth, transfer the accounts to Cayman. Roof workers, Ogundipe sites getting seized, our wages, a radio crackling, Big Three's debt crisis worsens, disjointed noises, but under Amina's Get AR, they harmonized. She wasn't just hearing sounds, she was decoding the city's pulse. What? Do you hear? Chitty rasped. Greed fleeing, Amina said. Money moving like ants before a flood. Chitty's stomach dropped. He recalled the trading data, massive withdrawals from Big Three funds, rerouted to gold, bonds, offshore accounts. All under one encrypted tag, EAR of the EARTH. EAR of the EARTH, he muttered. That's in your songs. Amina nodded. The wind says someone's listening to the land. They're shorting Big Three. Shorting, you mean betting they'll collapse? Not betting. Knowing, like knowing dawn comes. They hear what I hear, those golden towers paper. Chitty's legs gave out. If EAR of the EARth was shorting, Amina's prophecies weren't just warnings, they were financial RFA in she. An unwitting Sona are. The trap. Next day, Chitty sneaked into the exchange archives. Files reveal the EAR of the EARTH, a fund tied to eco-activists and a Ghanaian healer, all Big Three critics. They're not speculators, he gasped. They're reckoners, using capital to punish thieves. Lights flickered off. Chitty Okafo. His boss stepped from shadows, flanked by Gua Ardias Resee urging your side hustle. I was checking risk models. Risk, let me show you real risk. The boss leaned in. Option 1, resign. Vanish. Option 2, jail for market manipulation. Choose. Chitty's throat tightened. Arrest meant Amina, alone. I resign. SMART boy. The boss smirked. Some truths are too heavy for ants like you. The turning Chitty staggered back to the shack, pale. Amina heard I's turmoil before he spoke. They threatened you, she stated. He confessed everything, the fund, the ultimatum. Amina strummed a new song. A paper palaces on Sangreed's roots drink the land dry when the wind blows. New shoots rise from ash. Chitty trembled. Exactly what he'd seen, the Big Three's empire, built on debt and rot. You knew the wind speaks, she said. But it also says when paper towers fall, it's not the builders who drown first. It's the poor in their shadow. Chitty understood. Teachers, nurses, vendors all invested in Big Three stocks, believing the Africa Rising myth. A crash would erase them. What do I do? He begged. If I stay silent, I betray them. If I RN them, I might cause the panic. Amina stilled the strings. Chitty, know what a griot truly is? History keepers. Royal advisors. More, she said. They sing for the tribe. When kings err, they RN. When people suffer, they mourn. When storms pass, they hope. Her hand found his. You're not a banker or soldier. You're the wind's echo, your duty. Not to stop the storm, but help your people stand in it. Chitty's eyes burned. Amina never sought to destroy, only to awaken. The ally break came via Fatima Diop, a Senegalese journalist investigating Big Three's toxic spills. I saw Amina's videos, she said over encrypted chat. Her songs match my evidence. Let's link the financial rotto, the environmental crimes, with her music as the soul of the story. Shitty hesitated. They'll come for you. I'm from Dakar's slums, Fatima shot back. Rich men's slaps don't SCA re-truth. The plan, Fatima's report plus Chitty's data plus Amina's anthem. Let the song be evidence, Fatima urged. Let Lagos hear the truth. Amina agreed, but insisted, the song stays pure. No rage. No curses. Just the wind's words. She composed, paper palaces on Sangreed's roots drink the land dry when the wind blows, new shoots rise from ash. Chitty recorded it. For the first time, he felt calm, they weren't alone anymore. The storm gathers, but the Big Three struck back. How writer. Aisha Balagan's media branded Amina a foreign puppet. Aliyu Dangote's oil firm bribed slums with free fuel, don't believe the witch. Amika Obendipe's thugs riled up youths, that blind bitch stole our aid money. Then, the landlord's ultimatum, 3 days to leave. Shitty turned to Amina. She sat serene, strumming the new song as if the chaos outside were mere background noise. What now, he asked. Amina let the melody swell. Wait for the wind, she said. When paper walls crack, no drum is loud enough to muffle the sound of collapse. Outside, Lagos sky they were keen. The storm wasn't coming. It was here. The landlord shoved the eviction notice under the door and walked away without a word. The thin paper fluttered to Amina's feet like a dead leaf. Shitty picked it up, fingers trembling. They'd just found an ally in Fatima Diop. They were so Placido exposing the truth, and now, even their shelter was being ripped away. Where do we go? He asked, voice tight. Amina didn't answer. She bent down, traced the ink on the paper with her fingertips, reading the grooves like braille, then folded it into a tiny boat and set it adrift in a basin of murky water. Water flows. Boats move, she said. Houses re-shores. People re-water. Shores change. Water stays. Shitty watched the paper boat spin, then laughed. This woman's wisdom always cut through despair like moonlight. You're right, he said, opening his laptop. We won't hide. The Big Three want us gone fine. We'll make sure everyone sees us. He logged into social media, ready to post Amina's new song Paper Palaces, with his financial data and Fatima's pollution evidence. Wait, Amina said suddenly. Not yet. Why, now's our chance. The wind says not yet. She strummed the windseers get AR. Seeds wait for rain. Songs wait for EARS's post now, you'll only feed their fire. Shitty hesitated. Amina's hunches were never wrong. But waiting could cost them everything. Then engines ROA read outside. Not one. Many. Motorcycles, pickup trucks, modified CARS, a SWARM of angry locusts, flooding from the marquette. Their vehicles bore Lagos Youth League stickers. Their beds held young men waving clubs, torches. Leading them phone case boy, face painted, eyes wild. Witch. Come out. Burn her shack. She stole our aid. Blood for the EAR of the EARTH. They surrounded the shack, smashing doors, windows. The RP tore. Stones and Molotovs flew inside. Shitty threw himself over Amina, shielding her from debris. Run, he yelled. Back door. No. Amina pushed him away, cradling the windseer. Now's the time to sing. She stepped into the RD, torchlight washing over her pale face, blind eyes sta ring down the mob. The rioters froze. They hadn't expected her to walk out. You hate me. Amina's voice, soft but razor sharp, cut through the noise. Because I spoke truth. Because your father's cough poison from Dangote's oil fields, your mother's break in Balagan's factories. Your brothers jumped from Obendipe's half-built towers. The crowd stirred. Torches dipped. They fed. You Suga R, Amina continued. Free fuel. Charity ads. Youth funds. Sweet on the tongue, but the rapper hides a knife. Phone case boy screamed, Leah R. You took our money. My money. Amina laughed, a sound like wind chimes. Where were you when I slept under bridges? 8 scraps. Now you swing clubs for the thieves who robbed you. She raised the wind's ear to eye in the firelight, she sang. When lies build towers, truth is the lightning, not in clouds or books, but in blind hands listening. The moment the song began, magic. Torch flames bent toward Amina, like worshippers. Clubs halted mid-swing. Shouts died in throats. The song was the wind, the tide, the EARTHs your beat pouring into EARS, seizing ERTS. The stones you throw re your father's bones. The torches you raise burn your children's tomorrows. A youth's torch fell. Another STA read at his club. Obendipe's youth program gave us these, and remembered his sister, driven. Mad after her husband left from a half-built Obendipe condo. Wary attacking for the men who ruined us, someone whispered. The mob wavered, torches guttered out. Clubs thudded to dirt. Phone case boy stood frozen, wire paint streaked by TRS. Then 3 white SUVs screeched in, live lights flashing. Fatima Diop leapt out, camera crew scrambling. Go live. Now. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, global. Chitty sprinted to her. Fatima. How? Got tipped about the riot. Fatima adjusted her mic. This is it, the world sees who the real Oman is. The cameras framed Amina, standing in ruins, get ARNARMS, moonlight voice still flowing. The mob. Now just lost boys, shrinking into shadows. Fatima's livestream title flashed, Lagos Live, blind singer faces mob, sings Africa's truth, views exploded. Comments flooded, she's singing my life. Ghana. This is news. Not billionaire lies. South Africa, Amina, you're our voice. Nigeria. Obendipe, see your hired thugs listening, angry investors. Amina's song softened to a lullaby. She faced the camera, I'm no Oman. I'm the EARTH's child. When you cover EARS, the wind screams. When you shut eyes, songs are relight. To the retreating mob, you're not wrong. The system that pits us is. Go home. Hug your mothers. Ask your fathers, did your back break in Dangote's oil fields? Silence. Then, sobs. The crowd dissolved. Officer Oluwe arrived late, saw the cameras, and paled, not to ring to intervene. That night, Amina's song swept West Africa. Senegalese radio replayed it, not prophecy. Testimony. Ghanaian Fa Ramirez listened in fields, she sings our stolen land. South African unions made protest posters from her lyrics, paper palaces on sand, strike. The Oman became the voice of truth. A wind-seer movement bloomed, youth Leah running to hear injustice. And the big 3 panicked. Aisha Balagan held tearful press conferences. I fund schools. Hospitals. That blind girl is sabotaging our economy. Students boycotted with hashtag #ShowUsTheTruth. Dangote's gas stations got splashed with red paint, your oil equals our blood. Obendipe's mansion was mobbed by families of suicide victims holding give back our homes signs. Days later, a new crowd came to Amina's shack. Not rioters. Ordinary people, yam sellers. Cobbler elders. Okada drivers. Unemployed teachers. They ride planks, nails, roofing sheets. Madam Amina, the yam seller whispered, I burned your crate. Sorry. We'll rebuild. The cobbler pointed at the shack, too small. We'll build a house of voices, for singers like you. Chitty and Fatima helped design it. The new house rose from recycled wood and scrap metal, its roof open to sky and wind. Walls painted with EARS, winds, notes. On construction day, Amina sat on the foundation, strumming. SCARS will heal HEARTS regrossons and directness a redawns. First glow hammers clanged in rhythm. Fatima filmed it, captioning, when elites slap, the people build. And on the stock exchange screens the big 3 stocks. Still falling. The house of voices rose slowly in Lagos slums. Hammers pounded. Saws screeched. Murmurs of builders wove into a strange, hopeful rhythm. Amina sat daily on the unfinished foundation, her windseer G'day Rin hand, singing encouragement. Nail by nail, brick by brick, voices once buried in mud now rise as walls. Chitty and Fatima became truth porters. They packaged Amina's songs, evidence, and small investors' stories into explosive reports. Dangote oil, blood and lies in every Rel Balagan's 5G trap, the cancer village under her towers, Ogundipe's castles in air, 1,000 families trapped in ruins. Readership skyrocketed, more people heard Amina's message. They stopped asking, will stocks crash? Instead, how was our money stolen? The counterattack, but the big three struck back. Dirtier. Aisha Balagan blocked Fatima's links on her telecom network, airing expert panels instead. EAR of the EARTH is foreign sabotage. That blind girl is a puppet. Aliyu Dangote mass-fired oil workers, then blamed Amina. See her curses strangle businesses. Emeka Ogundipe threatened small investors directly, sell your stocks, say goodbye to your keys. Fiat are spread like plague. Investors froze, sell now and lose everything or hold and risk total ruin. The anonymous file, then an encrypted email hit Chitty's inbox. No text. Just a file labeled, wins truth. Inside EAR of the EARTH internal documents, trade logs, fund flows, and a liquidation plan. Chitty's hands shook. The data showed EAR of the EARTH wasn't just shorting the big three, they'd partnered with global hedge funds to crush the stocks next Monday, using high-frequency trading and debt leverage. They'd trigger panic selling, collapsing the empire in hours. The final line read: goal, systemic collapse. Reclaim stolen wealth. Restore justice. The wind rises. The thunder comes. EAR of the EARTH. Chitty slumped. This wasn't finance, it was war. And Amina's songs unwitting battle hymns. What do we do? He begged Amina. This crash will destroy her people. Amina traced her fingers over Fatima's latest printout, a photo of a mother clutching her starving child in Ogundipe's ruins. I know, she said softly. You knew. The wind speaks of La Ridge or tides, Amina said. EAR of the EARTH and I. Same pain, different weapons. They use money. I use songs. But the cost, sometimes truth hurts, she cut in. But lies, those kill. She strummed a grim melody when poison vines choke the tree. Cutting roots is the only cure. Leaves will fall but new shoots live. Chitty understood. Amina wasn't cruel, just clear-eyed. Letting the big three fester would doom all off West Africa. But we can soften the blow, he insisted. WARN small investors to pull out before Monday. Amina shook her head. With what secret files? Blind witch prophecies. Regulators would freeze accounts, arrest us. More would be trapped. Chitty despaired. It felt like watching a tsunami approach, helpless. The summit plan. Then, Fatima burst in with news. The Africa Economic Summit. Monday in Abuja. Big three all attending, plus presidents, central bankers. It's our stage. Chitty's eyes widened. You mean Amina sings there? Fatima grinned. Not in slums. Not under bridges. Directo the elites EARS. Impossible. Chitty protested. Security's fortress level. They'll drag her out. Not if we frame it right, Fatima countered. I've got media contacts. We'll slot her as traditional music performer. One line sung, my crew live streams it global. Chitty turned to Amina. She sat serene. Fingers on her G'day, as if she'd expected this. They'll kill you, he whispered. Amina smiled, a shockingly pure expression. Chitty, she said, the blind already died once. At 7, on that bus, when Mama let go. Since then, I live not for myself. She lifted her face, blind eyes seeming to pierce the distance to Abuja. This time, she murmured, I sing for those still alive. Countdown to storm. The next days were a clandestine whirlwind. Fatima forged Amina's cultural delegate papers. Chitty mined the exchange's databases for final proof of Big Three fraud ammunition to release during her song. And Amina she rehearsed a new anthem. Not rage. Not curses. Just truth, honed to a blade's edge. Your champagne is blood wine, your towers are orphan graves. Chitty shuddered. Too direct. Too dangerous. This song will enrage them, he wa rened. Let them rage, Amina said. Rage is defto the wind. The night before rain lashed Lagos. On Summit Eve. The House of Voices crew braced the half-built walls against the storm. Chitty and Fatima triple-checked Haya R. The air hung thick with tension. Amina sat under the eaves, Gidayar in lap, humming her new song. Rain drummed the roof like nature's percussion. Chitty brought her tea. Ska red, he asked. She cupped the warm mug. Yes. That my voice won't carry, that some still won't hear. That the wind might stop. A pause. Then, but more than fear are. Silence when you know the truth, that's the real death. She set the tea aside, fingers finding the Gidayar strings. Tomorrow, she said, the wind will roar. I'll sing till all of Abuja hears. The sound of collapse. The National Conference Center glittered, chandeliers refracting artificial light, carpets thick enough to swallow footsteps. Presidents, TYCNS, and global financiers mingled, air thick with perfume, CIGA-RS, and power. On massive screens, Nigerian stock indices ticked. The big three Shares BA Rely stable posted green numbers like a mirage. On stage, Aliyu Dangote shook the president's hand, tailored suit flawless. Aisha Balagan murmured into an encrypted phone, sequins glinting. Emeka Ogundipe smirked by the window, surveying Abuja's skyline like a conqueror. Africa's rise is unity and innovation, the president boomed. We stand at the dawn of a golden age. Champagne towers rose. Applause thundered. Outside a different scene. Fatima Diop's crew scrambled to set up a livestream NEAR, a makeshift wooden stage. Amina Dagbo sat atop it, wind-seared Gidayar in lap, blue cotton dress clean but frayed. Rain had stopped, puddles mirrored streetlights. Ready, Fatima whispered. Amina nodded, fingers brushing strings. Alohum. Remember, Fatima said, once you start, my cameras go global. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, every West African network. Screens inside the summit too. Amina inhaled. She couldn't see the SQUARE, but she heard it, security boots stomping, reporter shutters clicking, distant slum murmurs, and inside the center, the hollow laughter of elites. The wind's here, she said. Inside, the president reached his crescendo, our economy is unshakable. Our future limitless. Then, the floor-to-ceiling windows flickered. Amina's face filled them. Silence. What is this? The president SNA led a tech staff. External override. We can't stop it. Aisha Balagan shot up, livid. That omen. How did she? Dangote's knuckles whitened. Kill her. Now. Ogundipe chuckled. Let her sing. Let the world see her madness. Amina's Gidayar began, not melody, but a deep, throbbing pulse, each note a stone dropped into still water. Then her voice, slicing through the champagne haze. Your champagne is blood wine, your towers are re-orphan graves, glasses froze mid-toast. Smiles died. Paper palaces on Sangreed's roots drink the land dry. Aisha screamed into her radio, security. Drag her out. When lies build towers, truth is the lightning, not in clouds or books, but in blind hands listening. Guards Cha ridged the stage. Fatima's team locked arms around Amina. Cameras held steady. Inside, chaos. Young entrepreneurs clapped, ministers flinched. Dangote raised a chair to smash the screens, then Amina's voice split the air. Hear it, the sound of collapse, not my curse. But the rot you planted, 3 stars fall west, money's river reverses, now. 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 Her final chord screeched and the trading floor a la RMS wailed. Every screen flashed red. Nigerian stocks plummeted, big 3 Shares, minus 10%. Impossible, the central banker shrieked. EAR of the EARTH strikes. Chitty whispered, watching his phone. High-frequency trades, leveraged shorts, Toto market implosion. Aisha pointed wildly at Amina, her witchcraft crashed US. Dangote ROA read, arrest.
Her for economic terrorism. Ogundipe quietly dialed Cayman, liquidate everything, move to Swiss accounts. Now. Guards tackled Amina. Fatima clung to her let her go. But was thrown aside. As they dragged her away, Amina shouted her last line to the cameras, the wind still sings if EARS still listen, truth never goes blind, then, blackout. Inside, Bedlam. Allah RMS, screams. The president slumped, sta ring at where Amina had been, how? How did she know? No answer. Just her final notes, hanging like a slap across every pretending face. That night headlines erupted, blind singer's prophecy fulfilled, Nigeria loses $30 billion, BBC. Omen or Oracle. Amina Dagbo shakes Africa, CNN, a song toppled giants. Music versus capital, Economist. Twitter exploded a hashtag Amina, hashtag Winseer, hashtag Big 3 crash. Some raged, she ruined him. More wondered, why didn't we listen sooner? Interrogation room, Abuja police a lone bulb. GLA read. Amina sat calmly, fingers tracing a crack in her AR. The interrogator screamed, who pays you? How'd you predict the crash? Confess your witchcraft. Amina just hummed an old lullaby. The stones you threw your father's bones. The interrogator paused, her voice, softer than any torture, unnerved him more than screams. Outside, the wind howled. It had come. The fluorescent light buzzed overhead. The interrogator slammed his fist on the table, spit flying. Talk. Who leads EAR of the EARTH? How'd you collude with foreign powers? Amina sat still, fingers tracing a crack in her Winseer AR, as if the fisher held a song only she could hear. She didn't answer. Didn't flinch. At 7, when her mother let go at the bus stop, she'd Leah Rened to survive directness. Playing mute, the interrogator sneered. Tomorrow, you won't be here. The president wants you silent. Understand. The door burst open. Fatima Diop stormed in. Trailed by a lawyer and a human rights observer. Under Civil Rights Act 14, Fatima snapped, my client has the right to silence, counsel, and media presence. Her crime singing, then arrest every musician first. The interrogator paled. International cameras rolled. Hashtag Free Amina trended global. Amina was released, but confined to Abuja. She, Chitty, and Fatima holed up in a safe house. On TV Market Ca Renage. Week 1, the crashes shockwaves tore through Nigeria. Aliyu Dangote's oil empire crumbled first. Credit ratings junked, banks froze loans. He tried fire selling assets only to find buyers colluding to offer pennies. His jet got repossessed. Mansions seized. Worse. Ecogroups leaks satellite proof of his Delta pollution, cancer rates 8 exire. Villagers stormed his refineries, torching pipelines. Flames lit the night sky. Dangote fled only to be arrested at the border by Interpol for eco-crimes. Cameras caught him. Shaking. Aisha Balagan's telecom kingdom wobbled. She pledged 10 billion naira for schools, Charity. But crowds jeered, our kids are re-dying cancer villages. Fatima's expose then dropped, her 5G towers exceeded radiation limits, and she knew lawsuits piled up. Government shut her down, stocks worthless, assets frozen. She bolted for Dubai, but got yanked back at the airport. Her diamond-crusted phone confiscated, she stood hollow-eyed in the VIP lounge. Emeka Ogundipe's real estate. Poorest built. Homebuyers welded open his unfinished towers, hauling in beds, pots, kids. This is ours. Ogundipe sent thugs. Live footage showed a pregnant woman shoved, public erupted, his city light project got deemed fraud. He tried wiring cash offshore, but EAR of the EAR that frozen his accounts. Trapped in his hilltop mansion, he ROA read at the mob below like a caged beast. Experts gasped, Big 3 lose $2 billion, but the real damage incalculable. Global markets reeled week 2, the fallout but the real victims ordinary believers in Africa rising.
Mrs. Adebayo, a teacher, blew her life savings and daughter's college fund on Balogun stocks.
Now.
My child won't go to university. She wept outside the exchange, clutching worthless papers. Nurse Equi, retired, lived off Ogundipe's dividends.
Notice came, payouts cancelled. Principal zero. She read at her late husband's photo, John.
I lost it all. Thousands like Chitty. Poor kids betting stocks would lift them. Now saw red accounts and shattered dreams. Rage spread through slums like wildfire. That Omen did this, online mob screamed.
If she hadn't sung EAR of the EA would have struck. Our money'd be safe. Arrest her. Make her pay. Blind witch must burn.
Amina, once prophet, was again cursed to some. Week 3, the truth's cost in the safe house. Chitty watched victims TRS on TV.
His voice cracked. They're right. If we'd stayed silent, the crash might have come slower. Given them time to. Amina stopped humming. Chitty, she said softly, the wind never told me if crash would come. Only why?
She took his hand. Paper palaces on sand, she said.
They always fall.
Today or tomorrow, for those inside, it changes little.
But for those in their shadow, every day of fake boom is another day of stolen sweat, blood, hope. She paused.
I sang the wind's words not to stop the fall. That's beyond me. But so when it came, people'd see who built it to collapse.
Not me.
Not EAR of the EARTH of the 3 golden mountains themselves, built on bones, blood, stolen futures.
Chitty fell silent. He remembered his boss's threats, Aisha's bribes, Dangote's rages. Amina was right.
The crash was inevitable. Her song just forced the rot into the light. Then, Fatima brought a turn.
New polls showed 70% blamed the big three's greed, not Amina.
Her songs were
now whistleblowing.
Crucially, the president, under pressure, launched an independent probe. Chitty and Fatima's evidence became key. The report's release shook the nation. It exposed how the big three faked profits via shell companies. Funneled cash into personal offshore accounts. Bribed media to bury scandals. Bought politicians to dodge laws. The conclusion: not market fluctuation.
Systemic fraud. Amina Dagbo's prophecies. The people's war-running cry.
Week 4, from Omen to mirror the narrative flipped. Those who'd called Amina Omen now asked, did we blame her because we couldn't face being filleted so long?
She's no curse. She's the mirror showing our collective blindness.
We plugged our EARS, then blamed the wind for howling.
Amina didn't celebrate.
Back in Lagos House of Voices, her first visitor.
Mrs. Adebayo. My money's gone, the teacher whispered. My daughter's future Amina didn't defend.
She strummed a new song, soft as a lullaby. SCARS will scabhiarts regrow songs in directness. A dawn's first glow. A child's bag won't stay empty, for hope weighs more than money. Mrs. Adebayo wept, but her shoulders steadied.
Thank you. At least I know the truth.
At least my girl won't grow up believing their lies.
More victims came.
Amina sang no prophecies now, just healing, stitching broken hearts with melody. Chitty launched the Truth Fund, using donations and recovered loot to aid small investors.
A movement grew, reckon with the past. Rebuild trust.
The wind having scattered the ashes of lies revealed the EARTH's true face. Not built with bricks, but with Lagos scrapwood, corrugated iron, bright paint, and the goodwill of ordinary people. The skylight faces the open sky, letting wind and moonlight drift in freely. The walls are recovered with painted EARS, musical notes, and sprouting seedlings.
Under the eaves hangs a wind chime.
Made of old guitar strings and seashells. When the breeze passes, it tinkles like the EARTH whispering. Amina sits in the center, cradling the windseer guitar. Her fingers trace a crack in its body, now fully repaired with gold lacquer by an old Lagos craftsman using the traditional kintsugi method. The crack remains, but it no longer weakens the instrument. Instead, it gleams like a golden badge of honor.
The room is full.
Not of people seeking prophecies, but of those who've come to speak. A grizzled oil worker, trembling, I coughed black phlegm for 20 years. Never thought it was the company's poison.
Amina, your song made me brave the hospital. I have black lung. But at least I know why.
A former Balagan telecom call agent, weeping, I took complaints daily, bad signal, radiation burns.
My boss said, suppress them. Don't hurt our KPIs. I played deaf. Until your song. I leaked the recordings.
Got fired, but my soul lighter. A pregnant woman from Ogundyke's ruins, rubbing her belly, the day we moved into that concrete shell, my husband said, no paint, but we're home.
Amina, your song made us Doretto claim it.
Amina listens, no interruptions, no judgments. When they finish, she plucks the strings, weaving their stories into a wordless melody.
Not a song with lyrics, just notes like a river crying their pain and courage away.
Speak it, she murmurs, and the hurt halves. The wind takes the rest. Outside, the real work Chidi and Fatima push for tangible change. Financial transparency. Nigeria's Parliament passes the Corporate Disclosure Act, forcing firms to reveal shady deals, eco-damage, and executive pay. Chidi joins a watchdog team, using his analyst skills to sniff out irregular sounds in reports.
Media awakening. Fatima's Truth West Africa platform explodes.
She launches the Griot project, training young reporters to Listento slums.
Not just elites. The Truth Fund delivers. 500 small investors get microloans and job training. A keke driver repairs his ride, funds a neighbor's kid's trade school. He sends a banner, money fades. Truth echoes. But shadows linger. The big three trials drag on. Dangote, Balagan, Ogundyke plead scapegoats of populism. Their lawyers stall, bribe, gaslight. Worse, a counter-movement brews. Conservative media, hounding billionaires. SCA residential investors. We need strong men to stabilize. Intellectuals. Amina's cult of emotion overrules law. Anonymous trolls dig up her past. Village outcast. Street beg AR. Lunatic. Chidi frets. They're rewriting history. Making the big three victims and us anarchists. Amina just listens to the wind chime. Winds shift. But roots hold trees upright. The unexpected visitor. One day, a guest arrives, Officer Olu. No uniform. Just a crumpled police cap in hand. Madam Amina, his voice. Cracks. The room tenses. This man broke her get arc, dragged her through mud. Amina faces him. The wind says you've come to speak. Olu's fingers twist the cap. I apologize. For the get AR. The evictions. The blindness. He looks up, eyes wet. I thought order meant obeying power. The rich called you a curse. I believed them. I thought I was protecting the city. His voice breaks. After the crash, I went to Makoko. Saw old folks STA ring at worthless stock slips. A grandmother asked, officer, who did you protect? He slides four-way RD photos, her shattered get AR. A childhood snapshot, her mother weeping at the bus stop. I kept these. For ya RS. Amina touches the images. She can't see her mother's face, but her fingers trace the TR's indentation. Thank you, Olu, she says softly. Not for the apology. For he ring the wind at last. Olu bows, turns to leave, then pauses. If this place ever needs real protection, call me. The chorus. Months later, a sunny morning. House of Voices hosts a concert, not Amina's solo, but a choir. The oil worker belts rigged chants. The call agent hums hold music tunes. The keke driver drums a wooden crate. Children sing nursery rhymes. Amina sits in the center, not playing. Just listening. Arari, unburdened smile lights her face. Chidi watches, throat tight. He texts Fatima, the storm passed. Not victory awakening. They're singing for themselves now. Fatima replies, wind still blows. Next rain brings new seeds. Amina seems to hear their exchange. She lifts her face. Skyward, blind eyes seeing beyond clouds. The wind chime tinkles. Breeze ruffles hair, ca rise Lagos noise, and beneath it all the faint cracking sound of new roots pushing through. Yarth. Ikeja Mayorket still bustles, but now a small bronze plaque sits embedded in the concrete at its entrance. It reads. Here, Amina Dagbo once sang. The wind said, truth is the only light.
A little girl traces the letters with her fingers. Her mother gently pulls her away.
Don't touch. This is history. Mama, who's Amina, a blind woman, her mother murmurs, watching the market crowd. She lies with her EARS, woke the city with her songs. When everyone else pretended to sleep, she chose to wake.
The girl doesn't fully understand, but the name plants itself in her heart like a seed. The House of Voices no longer a shack, but a proper community center, library, music room, debate hall. Its murals are repainted RLY, people of all colors and trades, hands linked, ERS tilted SKYWARD.
Amina still lives there, but no longer sits at the door.
Her role has changed. She relies sings prophecies now.
Instead, she listens to neighbors' troubles, kids' dreams, elders' wisdom. Every Wednesday, she hosts EAR lessons.
Children sit at her feet, learning to hear the world. Close your eyes, Amina whispers. Listen, the fish sellers call. Is it quick or slow? Quick means stale stock.
Slow means fresh. Listen, the Okada horn. 1 beep is a warning. 3 is a curse.
Listen, wind through tin roofs. A whoosh means strong breeze.
A hiss means leaks coming. The kids giggle, squeezing their eyes shut.
To them, the blind woman isn't SCA she's a magician decoding the world. Grandma Amina, a boy asks, can I learn to hear like you? Yes, she smiles.
If you never pretend not to. When someone cries, don't turn away.
When someone lies, don't nod.
Your here is your EAR.
Chidi and Fatima Chidi Okafo now heads Nigeria's Financial Integrity Bureau. His office walls are lined with diplomas, just RTS, old Big 3 reports, and a sketch of House of Voices. His Transparency 2.0 project uses AI to sniff financial wins, see pay gaps, fake eco data. We don't need one prophet, he tells conferences.
We need systems that are.
His wife,
Fatima Diop. Their living room holds an old recorder, Amina's first. Fatima still runs Truth West Africa, but her focus shifted. No more SCPS.
Now quiet stories, fishermen on dying seas, farmers on crackland, factory workers on real wages. Amina taught me, she says, the loudest truths whisper. The airs that spring, an elder visits, Adwa Khanate, the griot who gave Amina the Windseer Gidar. Now 80, she brings a bundle. Child, she tells Amina, the Windseer needs heirs. Inside 3 mini Gidars, ca are vet with symbols, wind, water, roots. Griots never belong to one, Adwa says. I found 3 children, a deaf boy who feels music, a mute girl who dances it, a wheelchair-bound boy who codes it.
They'll be the next listeners. Amina runs trembling hands over the GetARS. This isn't just about instruments.
It's the mission living on. The wind never stops, Adwa says.
Where there's injustice, it'll call new EARS. New wolves, old
tricks, but the world didn't fix itself. New giants rise, tech mobiles, green energy barons, data lords. Their lies are slicker, change the world, while are writing data.
Save the planet, while stealing land.
One day, a tech exec visits House of Voices. Shah RP suit.
Sharper smile. Ms. Amina, he uses, our AI predicts market moods.
With your intuition plus our algorithm, priceless, *Salary 100 Zaire donations.
Amina doesn't look up.
She's listening to a FA or Marisab, a green energy firm seized his ancestral land for solar panels.
Promised profits.
Delivered nothing. Sir, Amina cuts in, can your AI hear this man's beat at 3 a.m.? His gasps when det night may res wake him. The exec blinks.
That's unstructured data.
Our sentiment module still, then go fix it, Amina says.
When your machine pauses its calculations for one weeping elder, come back.
The FA or Mara grips her hand, TRS falling. They call me a fool for signing.
Only. You listen. Amina gives him a mini Windseer. Teach your grandchildren to sing this land story. The wind remembers. The last lesson. One autumn night, Amina sits under the skylight. The 3 young heirs practice. The deaf boy vibratesto strings. The mute girl swasto notes.
The disabled boy transforms sound into light patterns on his tablet. Their song has no words, only life. Amina smiles, stroking her old wind seer. Its golden crack glints in moonlight. Chitty and Fatima arrive with their 5-year-old. The child touches the get AR. Grandma Amina, they ask, if you can't see, why say you see the wind? Amina lifts the child onto her lap, pressing their small hand to her chest. Because, she whispers, voice like leaves rustling, true sight ascend in eyes but hear. When your heart aches for others' pain. Burns at unfairness beats with hope, then asterisk you'll see which way the wind blows. Outside, Lagos lights twinkle. Like stars. Waves crash on distant shores. And the wind slips through house of voices. Skylight brushes get AR strings, kisses new sprouts and hums past generations of EARS that refuse to stay silent.